Having a great Memorial Day. I figured I would pop on for just a few minutes. I'm going to complain for a second. I really had a good look at the first one. I fell back just in this last inning or two. So I was in second place and now I'm back to 10th place in the 444. I only played one lineup and would have been nice to get there, but didn't quite make it. It happens. A little bit of a bummer. Hopefully make up for it tonight. Anything from Yelich at all would have been helpful because that was my one big blank spot. But I liked what I did. I did a 3-3-2, and I will probably be doing some similar type of things this evening. Real quickly to go through who I like tonight. I'll wait for a couple of you guys to jump on in before I say anything because it's not going to do a lot of good after the fact. So I'm going to grab my water and wait for you guys to pop on in here. So looks like it should be okay. It looks like we got at least somebody in here now. So we'll get going. Excuse me one second. Excuse me. Anyway. What's up, Adam? No problem, man. Let's get it. Really close call for me in the first part of the day, and it looks like I'm going to end up around 10th. Kind of disappointing because I really thought I was going to have a good chance here, and I was in the top 2 for most of the afternoon, so it would have been nice to get that win. Unfortunately, didn't do it, but hey, we have another slate tonight. I see Pilar in for the Dodgers. He's in my main lineup as of right now. I do have 2 big lineups that I'm doing, and I'm actually not stacking – the team I'm sort of avoiding that I'm nervous about is Boston. It does feel like a good spot. Obviously, there's really not a whole lot of argument I should have against it. It's hot. It's blowing out. I'm probably going to get little pieces of it, but I just thought the ownership was going to be a little bit more than I could probably end up stomaching. And you look through it, I guess that JD might not be crazy. Maybe they won't be quite as popular, but I'm not sure I entirely trust that they won't be. I just think that everybody loves playing them, and they're probably going to. The Dodgers, I think you can get different by playing Rios. Just starting with the stack at like, maybe you could throw Turner in there, but like a Rios, Bellinger, Pilar, Turner kind of a thing or something like that is certainly something that I'm looking at doing. I also really want to attack the Milwaukee-Chicago game again. I think that you've got the chalky side is the Milwaukee side, and I think the Cubs will be owned as well, but I don't think it'll be nearly as much. Morel will be one of the most popular players. Ian Happ will be pretty popular, and I think Contreras will be extremely popular. But other than that, so I'm sort of doing I have a 4-2-2 right now. I might even end up with a 3-3-2 by the time we're done and we get all the lineups out. The other team I'm focusing on is the Mets, who I feel like are getting a little bit overlooked outside of maybe Lindor and Guillorme. You got the Guillorme and Morel thing at the same price. So they both can be owned, but then you're sort of locking up that position. So trying to do something different at second base is definitely something, a good place to try to attack. But I liked the idea of playing these Mets against Fetty. We all know that people don't play Pete Alonso nearly as much as they should. And I am going to say that is a mistake. We should always be playing Pete Alonso when we can at low ownership. And that is what I'm going to do. It does worry me, though. I am a little nervous about fading this Boston game, but you can't play everybody, and I'm not playing a ton of lineups. So that's just sort of what I'm doing. You also have other cheap options for value, like Velasquez for Chicago. Clint Frazier is super cheap also. If you wanted to use Rivas, you don't have to do that far, I don't think, down. But if you did want to go for the bottom of the stack, I think you're going to get very low ownership on the bottom of the Cubs. And I like that game. Again, 23-mile-an-hour winds blowing out at 86 degrees. Very, very hard to ignore that, especially in Wrigley. So that's what I'm doing tonight. Why don't you guys pop on in, say hello or whatever. I don't think there's anything else I overwhelmingly need to cover. And I am going to right now just make sure to get my correct lineups over there. And fire on in any questions. Oh, the pitchers I'm using. Sorry. My favorite pitchers are Peterson and Buehler. Nothing special about either. I mean, nothing. Obviously, they're both good plays. But yeah, those are my 2 favorite pitchers, and I will be well overweight on both of them. The other ones I would consider using are Rasmussen and the Strider, who's just been really, really good, but probably has, probably not fully extended. So I don't know what we can expect from him, but I do think it's worth noting that he is I think a terrific play. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I also I like the Mets. I have like a Mets 3-man. I've got Juan Soto as a one-off where I'm not using Peterson. I don't mind like a Soto and Cruz combination. I think that's going to be lower owned, and I think that's a really good way to go. So, but in order, I have Buehler, Peterson, Rasmussen, Strider in that order. And I even the Strider thing, I feel a little nervous about. We saw him pitch 4 innings in one game in long relief. He threw 69 pitches. He's thrown 71 another time this year. If they let him throw 75, I think you could certainly make an argument for it. Anyway, so very, very disappointing for first part of the day, even though it was exciting for a little bit. Always fun when you have one entry and you have a good chance to take down the big tournament of the day. And hopefully we can take care of that again tonight. So pop on in with any thoughts and questions, any ideas. That's basically what I'm doing. I have Dodgers followed by Mets. Dodgers and Mets. But then the whole Milwaukee-Chicago game is a priority. But the thing is, the ownership is leading me to use those as secondary stacks, maybe take 4 or 5 players from that game with another 3-man stack or a 4-man stack from either the New York, LA, or Boston. But Boston is going to be just as popular. So I would suggest not doing, I'm not going to be overwhelmingly high on Boston, even though I obviously like them and they're in a great spot. I just think that it's going to be chalky, and even the Dodgers, who are going to have some ownership, I don't think that a lot of these guys will because of the pricing. I think Justin Turner will be incredibly low owned. I think Gavin Lux will be extremely low owned. I think Kevin Pillar will be low owned. I think Edwin Rios is going to be in between. So you can definitely build a stack, and Bellinger will be very low owned. So you can build a Dodger stack that's not going to be chalky, and then you play it with your favorite Milwaukee, Chicago bats. And that's the same thing I'm doing with the Mets. So that's my sort of overall outlook of how to approach this slate. I'm going to do something I'm not usually supposed to do, but I'm going to do it anyway because I like to give you guys the honesty. But this is what my lineups look like right now. They'll look a little different by the time it's done. But there we go. This is where I'm at right now. And I'm going to show it to you guys just for a quick second. That's where I'm at. I'm going to get in trouble if I leave it up there for too long. So take notes, but that's sort of my early build look. That's where I'm at. Anyway, guys, good luck to everybody. If there's no questions or no thoughts, I will get out of here. If there are questions or thoughts, please feel free to drop them on in. I do like being able to show the lineups, and I'm going to do it one more time real quick. But it's basically how my builds go. And on these slates, I don't think you necessarily have to fully stack, although I think there's a good chance that one team does go way off. I think there's a chance that actually 3 teams could go really nutso tonight. And I would like the Dodgers even better if they had a little bit of, of all the hitting conditions on the slate, you'd have to put the Dodgers, right near the bottom of it, just with the fact that it's 67 degrees. But it is blowing out to left center also. So you have pretty good hitting conditions everywhere. I expect a lot of home runs tonight. Sort of staying away from the Atlanta-Arizona game. I think Gallen is a really good play. Or really makes sense as a tournament play, but at crazy high ownership, I think I'll take my shots on the other guys because I feel safer with Peterson and excuse me, with Peterson, Rasmussen, who no one's going to play, I don't think, and Buehler is my number 1. That's what I'm doing anyway. So that's that. A lot of high totals. Expect a lot of home runs. To get a weird home run call out that I'll throw out there is the Juan Soto. And another weird one that I'm going to throw out there is Eduardo Escobar. I like the pitch profile type. So that's where I'm at. So anyway, guys, good luck to everybody tonight. I hope we crush it. And let's make some money and start this week off right. Good luck, y'all. One last thing. I am not going to be here Wednesday. I have a full day of things I have to do, and I'm going to have to be part day Friday. So just keep that in mind. But I will be around tomorrow, and we are going to hopefully have another big week. So good luck, everybody.